Everyone knows legendary League of Legends names such as Faker and Uzi. But have you ever heard of names such as Imaqtpie, Balls, or Steak? From the hilarious to the legendary, these are some of the most unique pro player names in League of Legends history.
PPGOD goes towards the Leona, looking a Zenith Blade into the backside. The fact I have to say PPGOD out loud and seriously is a wonderful part.
The thing is,
starting off with one of my favorites, we have PPGOD. As a veteran support in China's LPL, PPGOD played for heavyweights such as Fun Plus Phoenix, Billy Gaming, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Victory 5. Even though in Western culture, his name could have, let's say, a unique spin on it,
PPGOD knows what his name means. He was told an interview, he was like, oh, that's very funny. That's great.
The origin story behind his name is actually pretty simple. His last name is actually Peng, but instead of calling himself Peng God, he shortened it and a legend was born. Although his career had a lot of ups and downs, his name became a global phenomenon. He now has his own cult following with the PPGOD gang on Reddit and the Church of PPGOD on X, and the countless jokes at his expense.
His HP pool is a little bit small. Sorry, it's his perfectly average HP pool size. Towards the mid lane, rookie. Oh, what the hell was that solar flare?
PPGOD misfires a little bit there. Could look to throw his mighty Zenith Blade in and chooses not to do so.
Next up, we have the cutest former pro in competitive League of Legends history, Imaqtpie.
Cutie Pie is really funny. I'm a cutie pie.
I'm a cutie pie. When I first did not know him, I was just, okay, what a stupid name.
Back in the early days of the NALCS, Cutie was the star ADC for Team Dignitas. While some wanted to have a more intimidating summoner name, Cutie went a different direction. The origin of his name is surprisingly wholesome. His mom always told him that he was a cutie pie, and he just added Ama in the front, and the rest is history.
All we have to do is play the map and then map the plays. That's actually correct.
What makes the name iconic isn't just the word, but the man behind it. With his legendary long hair, white t-shirts, and laid-back attitude, he became the face of League's troll culture. After retiring in 2014, he built a massive streaming empire, showcasing that being a self-proclaimed cutie pie is a completely valid career path.
God bless you and welcome to the Big Dick Club.
Moving on from cutie pie, we now have a prime cut of meat with Steak. In Taiwan's LMS League, Steak was a very dominant top laner for teams such as Flash Wolves and Gamma Bears. His name's origin is pretty simple. He wanted a short summoner name, and steak was his favorite food.
有时候想说取一个简单一点的，对，就取牛排。因为我最喜欢的食物。
Although even more iconic than his gameplay was his looks. Combining his legendary hair with a name that makes everyone in the audience hungry, you get a top laner that you could never forget. After retiring, he transitioned into a coaching role, showcasing that whether he's on the Rift or behind the scenes, the Steak is always well done.
Well, it's pretty easy to go in the game knowing that I'm gonna be the only one to troll our team.
We now move on to a player with one of the most recognizable and relatable names in League history, with that being GBM, or better known as Ganked By Mom. As a world-class mid laner, GBM traveled the globe, competing in Korea's LCK, North America's LCS, and even in LEC in Europe.
Absolutely. Oh, Ganked by Mom, about to be ganked by Elise, the Spider Mom, but he gets away.
But his name didn't come from a fierce monster or crazy title. It came from a nightmare that I'm sure we all share, being ganked by our mom. GBM recalls frequently being caught by his mother in the middle of the night while playing games, which led to the creation of this iconic summoner name. And to be honest, there's no better way to honor the woman who almost ended your competitive career, before it even started really, than naming yourself after one of her most effective ganks.
Hi, I'm GBM. This is my bow tie collection. Why I starting bow tie? Because I like Doctor Who. This is Doctor Who bow tie.
From being ganked by your mom to being ganked by the Horde or Alliance, our next player is Wunder, or as we used to know him as, Wunderwear. Before he was an MSI champion with G2, he was actually known as Wunderwear, which actually sounds more like a 90s antivirus software than a pro gamer name. Wunder became the face of the G2 troll era, famously being so good at League of Legends that he felt like you didn't even need to practice it. Instead, he spent his time doing high-level World of Warcraft raids, famously getting fined by his own team for playing WoW during the MSI tournament. He also found himself often drawing in Microsoft Paint during international broadcasts just to show a bit of his own personal flair to the audience.
If you're allowed to tap out and if they can see it, and then they said yes, so I just opened up Paint and wrote what is going on.
That's what I'm thinking. One, not great paint handwriting, I'll be honest. Could have typed, I assume.
Wunder proved that you don't need to have an edgy name to be a final boss. You just need to be able to win trophies while your WoW raid is waiting for you in the background.
To be fair, we had a lot of cheers today. Maybe it's just because the crowd was confused. I know it's very common for NA teams to be filled with Europeans and Koreans. So maybe they were just confused today, they saw our team and thought it was a home team, but yeah, I don't know.
We're now entering the territory for, let's say, some more controversial names. This one man caused a complete nightmare for Riot's PR team, and of course we're talking about BigfatLP, or as he was known back then, Bigfatjiji. In the early seasons of League, GG was arguably one of the best players in the world, countlessly being at the top of the ranked ladder. At first glance, I'm sure Riot HQ thought his name was just quirky or cute, but they eventually found out the true meaning. As League got bigger and bigger and went global, Riot got a wake-up call. Because you see, in Mandarin, GG is actually a slang word used for, well, you know. And if you combine that with Big Fat in front, you kinda get the gist of things. Once Riot realized this, they forced him to change his name because they didn't want to pay casters to shout out a Big Fat, you know. To which he complied by changing his name to BigfatLP. Although it turns out that has a secret meaning as well. I always thought LP was just talking about the whole rank system league points, but in reality, it actually stood for Lanpa, which is a Hokkien term which is commonly used in Singapore and Malaysia for testicles. So we went from big fat penis to big fat testicles, showcasing that not every name is as innocent as it seems.
Half of them probably are just new players. They don't even know. They're like, who's that? I've never seen him before. We don't know. They're scrubs. Yeah. Scrubs.
Now moving on to a former world champion who has no doubt the best name to ever grace the world stage, Lilballz. Lilballz was actually the starting jungler for the Taipei Assassins, or TPA, who won the Season 2 World Championships in one of the greatest underdog stories in League history. They took down the giants of Korea and Europe to lift the second ever Summoners Cup. It was already weird back then, but imagine today's day and age having a caster scream at the top of their lungs.
Right, Wung dodging away from Lilballz there.
Oddly enough, this name originated due to his friendship with Bigfatjiji. They were both actually friends from high school, when they both skipped school on the same day to go to a LAN center to play video games. And when choosing a Summoner name, he figured he'd do the opposite of his friend, so instead of Bigfatjiji, he did Lilballz. He proved that not only can you have a name that makes people giggle, but you can also be one of the most respected junglers to ever play the game. But as legendary as he was only one half of the most iconic duo in the Balls category.
My name is Alex Lilballz Sung, and I play for TPA. My favorite champion is Alistar.
Last up, we have one of the true NA GOATs, Ballz. Famously known for his time as the top laner of Cloud9, Ballz wasn't just known for his world-class Rumble strategies, but for also having a name that you couldn't say without cracking a smile. The peak of the Ballz era happened during the 2015 World Championship, where after being criticized by analysts for only being Diamond 2 in solo queue, Ballz stepped up onto the international stage and did the unthinkable. He locked in Darius, hunted down the enemy team, and gave us this amazing shot called moment.
Sneaky inside, there's a turret alive, but they gotta be careful. A big knockback, and that's the kill into Morgana. Azir goes down as well, but the dunks are coming through. A double kill for Balls, a triple kill for Balls. Holy cow, they're all gone. A kill for Balls, holy cow.
There's something about the pure, unbridled hype of a professional caster's voice when screaming the word balls at the top of their lungs. It was the perfect ending to his redemption arc, and it's a reason why, even years after his retirement, he remains the most iconic name to ever grace the Rift.
If Riot made an ultimate ability, I would probably call it Ball-Saga. The ultimate ability would probably just drop balls on people.
With big legendary names such as Bigfatjiji, Lilballz, and Balls, we just need to hope that one day a player with a summoner named Big Balls shows up on the Rift to complete the trifecta. Which summoner name was your favorite? Did I miss a legendary name that deserves to be in a part 2? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more League of Legends deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the Rift.